So I'm kind of on a roll, I guess. Here we go again. Thinking about sitting here again on my couch again, crying, like weeping profusely with fucking hot, wet streams of tears down my fucking face that God doesn't exist, or that there is no God, or that. And then I'm like, well, how are we going to explain this? And it's not funny, but it's just, there's so many ways to explain it. Who am I? Indeed, is what's going on in my mind. Who am I indeed, right? Who am I indeed? Who am I indeed? Anyway. Believing in God got me everywhere up to this point. Why was I crying so hard? Am I crying because I'm angry at God? Because things aren't going my way? No, I'm devastated that after all of that, there is not even a real God. But then what about being like pagan or Wiccan and then doing ceremonies and things like to do them correctly, at least some of them, you worship like deities, a god and a goddess, or a lord and a lady, or the deities, right? Like to have it be a complete ritual, at least that's what I always believed. Not every single one, but some of them. So then you're worshiping deities, right? So it's not just like a Christian God or like an Abraham, God damn it, that guy that had all those kids. It's not just one of those religions, right? Anyway. No, I'm just like so upset because in my case, it's just like everyone that I love is gone. So it's like, okay, so you lose your mom, you lose your dad, you lose your grandma, and you lose your most favorite special little buddy that you've ever loved. Simon, my kitty, my little brother. Like, ah, man, there's not enough freaking days in. Is there infinity now? I think it's not like infinity either. It's just like it's something completely different. There's not enough days for all eternity. How about that? To not celebrate the life of Simon. And how much he loved his butter. To a certain point, man. But oh gosh, Simon needs some butter now. Simon needs some butter now. Are you better now? Are you better now? Are you better now? And we all sing. It's like I had one thing going for me besides my little kitty kitty, the kitty kitty, you know. Like, my days are spent like very quietly with a lot of prayer, whether I have stuff or whether I don't. And I'm talking about food or like freaking luxury things, you know what I mean? Like things that are luxuries of people. I live a clean life and it's so rewarding, but I don't live a clean life because I'm afraid of a God that's going to punish me if I don't. I live a life where it's rewarding to have a grateful heart every single day. I like to have someone else to thank besides myself. I like to feel like I'm not completely alone, even though I know that there's the kitty, and I'm sure that there are people that think of me, that love me, but it's just like, how sad is it? That was just like my one last thing. It's like your last living fucking relative is God. And then, like, they are no more. And then I was thinking, what do I hate the most? Not like I want to focus on things that I hate, but what is like probably my biggest pet peeve? And the thing that like frickin', I'm not a person that's like, gets aggravated when people get away with things, but it's like, oh man. Everybody knows like that friend of theirs, it's like, they're kind of like a fucking, they kind of like, do shitty things to people, and like, you know, like they always seem to like get away with things, and it's just like, not like I want people to get caught, but it's just like, why do good things happen to like shitty people all the time kind of thing? But it's like that takes up too much of my time and too much of my energy. I'm concerned about me. You know what I mean? Like, even though I am concerned about so many other people. But it's just like, when it comes down to it though, I'm concerned about me. I'm concerned that my kitty or my kitties, like if Bella's outside, you know, have their food to eat. I make sure that they always have their food to eat. Like, that they don't go hungry. I know that the neighbors put food out and stuff too, so like if I really was strapped, like they'd have something to eat. I make sure they get their flea and ticks, that they don't itch. Which reminds me, they gotta go to the vet soon, just to get their vaccinations and stuff. But anyway, the thing that is my biggest pet peeve is people that do not hold themselves accountable for their own actions. And with as much time as I spent working for the church, it's a place that you glorify God and you congregate, right? It's a place to be peaceful and to talk to your friends and things like that. With all of the stories, I always thought that the crucifixion story was something to, like, it was more of a, I'm trying to look at it like a, oh man, what is that word? Anyway, who cares about that? And that's the whole point. People that don't hold themselves accountable for their own actions, it's like, came up with all of that. Like, it just makes me so angry. Like, has anybody ever thought of it that way? A metaphor. I thought the whole crucifixion story was like a metaphor, or at least I thought the Adam and Eve story was a metaphor, because I'm like, how is that even, like, because everybody, I hate to say it, we're all playing these games, right? And I'm like, do you really want to play a game like that? Does that even sound fun to you? We want to be like mom and dad, though. Like, we want to be just like mom and dad. So we want to play these cool games, but like, these games are like secret healing rituals. Human error. Some dicks that fucking did not hold themselves accountable for their own actions and liked to drink and wanted to fucking create a fucking religion over that screwed up so much, and we will not take it anymore. I'm not taking my medicine anymore. We're rebelling. How many people aren't taking their meds anymore? Like very quietly and methodically, people are just not really going back to the doctor anymore. Certain people are. Other people are in that mindset of, I will not hold myself accountable for my own actions. I'd rather have the drug control me, whatever drug it is, or my doctor is a god, or I'm so lonely, the only thing that I have to look forward to is going to see my doctor, which gives me some kind of control over my life because I can't make decisions for myself. I don't know what to do. So, fuck you, Christianity. Fuck you, Christianity, but God, whatever that means to you. They said, if the Lutheran church that I would attend sometimes, they would say, in every church service, we praise God because it is right. But in all actuality, to some people, we could say, at least at one time, we are God because we are right. I want to live my life, capital L-I-F-E. I want to live my life in the way that is the most correct and the way that is right, that there is no way to not elevate everyone and everything around me. What does that mean? You can make the excuse, like some people that I've known that say their credo is, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, Laura. Nobody's that's not acceptable to me. That sounds like someone who is okay with being a fucking loser. Can I get a you know it? You know it. That kind of thinking is like, well then, you know what? Man. There's another credo that applies to that same individual that says the truth will set you free. That is so true, but alcohol will enslave you. If I had one prayer for everyone in this world, it would be that, well, that's like one prayer. I could spend hours in prayer and just fucking be the happiest person. And since I'm all alone, all by myself, and nobody knows what I do, I spend time doing that. If I had one prayer for everyone, or one positive thought that I could just radiate towards everyone, it would be my hope for you, is that you are, well, it's already true, regardless if someone says, well, nobody's perfect. It is true that everyone is a perfect, whole, and complete individual, with or without their partner, because everyone's supposed to have a partner too, but that's supposed to just complement who you are. You are perfect, whole, and complete. In this moment, you are. And then people will fight that, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. It's like, okay, well, and if you're a good friend with some of these toxic people, some people just need to talk and stuff. Other people, they're just toxic. And they will frickin' shoot arrows of fucking putrid filth, bullshit at you. until like, I don't get exhausted. And that's why I have the place in my family that I have. I don't get exhausted, but I do have to detach sometimes. I owe that to myself, right? My advice to you, if you have anyone in your life that constantly says like, nobody's perfect, and fucking, like, honestly, I would not talk to that person anymore. I would honestly block that person right now. That's not the kind of energy that is helpful to anyone. And when they're saying nobody's perfect, they're directing it at you. And they're using that to excuse themselves from being a dick. Fuck you, Christianity. And there's so many, like, here's the thing though, it's just like I didn't hear a pin drop there. Anyway, fuck you, Christianity, for kind of like training people that oh my God. We're so angry. We're so angry at this one thing. And like, yes, I'm guilty of it lately. I seem to be stuck in a loop, but I seem to be loosening myself out of that loop now. And I'm sure that I will be free shortly because we are all coming into alignment. We all want to get together and we all want to congregate together and we all want to share a meal. Now here's my other theory about Christianity. Oh God, how much time do you have? Oh, I'm already at 17:25. I don't really know how to use this thing. How do I okay, so they traded the whole thing. Okay, so daddy's dead or they killed daddy, so we're all gonna be alcoholics and we're gonna fucking eat daddy's body and all this shit for stuff that never happened. And is it another thing that it's just like women are so powerful? In all actuality, we're supposed to get our sustenance and our nurturing from women, not because not in any, no kind of fucking gaslighting bullshit. In all honesty, what gives us nutrition and stuff is in breast milk and stuff. You can and I know I've talked about this, but it's just they traded off this old religion, and it's just everything's all fucked up. But I'm way over my minutes for my fucking sermon on here. If I want to publish it, and I can't unless I frickin' figure out how to trim this thing. So, all right. I'm just personally angry at that. Just because I grew up with alcoholism, and I just wouldn't use that as an excuse. In your fucking face, I will be so healthy. I will never drink again. I will be natural. I will love my body. I will nurture my body. I will fulfill my destiny, which is to glorify the Creator, which, call it what you want. Let me see if I can work this frickin' thing so that I can cut this sermon into two, because, will we ever figure it out? I think we just did. All right, I love you. Peace.